Sweet dreams are made of this. Who am I to disagree?
Hello, this is Ellen the Marvelous, the movie gangster, and finally we are standing at the finale gate of our beloved From TV show Season 3. And after what we faced in Season 3 Episode 9 happened to Tabita, I finally decided to upload the first review I was created on Season 3. In that very first review, which was a full breakdown on Episode 1, Season 3, the beginning sequence of the show, I used Tarot Cards and Numerology to break all elements through the narrative and shots based on a karmic cycle. I never uploaded that review, and now after watching Episode 9, I just decided to add some notes and upload it. In this review, we will discuss on how and what is the dominant rule of this level of this rigged game. First, please like and share and subscribe to support my channel and push the notification bell to be informed of all of my videos and reviews as I uploaded them.
Like a dream, you walked into my life just like a dream.
The beginning of Season 3 exactly is from the point we left the story, and again here, at the first sequence of the show, we see Tabita standing by the window at the hospital. And there is a Dr. Broody talking to her, and it's only a simple conversation between two of them to clear the location at the beginning of the episode. As she says, they are at St. Anthony's Hospital in Main Camden, and it's obvious she has reported the police and police has arrived, and they are here to question Tabita. It seems Tabita doesn't remember anything, but as we see, she keeps secrets and can't trust them at all. As I'm going to use Tarot card in this review breakdown to analyze the situation based on a karmic cycle, I'm going to begin with Temperance Tarot card, which is the 14th trump in a major arcana, and it's usually numbered 14. It's a figure which represents the virtue temperance. Along with Justice card and the Strength card, it's the one of three virtues which are given their own cards in traditional tarot. Temperance is almost invariably depicted as a person pouring liquid from one receptacle into another. Historically, this was standard symbol of the virtue temperance, one of the cardinal virtues representing the dilution of wine with water. In many decks, the person is a winged angel, usually female, and stands with one foot on water and one foot on land. And the location is cleared as Main Camden, and the city has a shore, one foot on land and one foot on water. At the end of the path in the lower left part of the card, there is a crown to show the attainment of a goal or mastery trophy. The Temperance card is associated with economy, moderation, frugality, management, accommodation, and in reverse, things connected with church, religions, the priesthood, sometimes even the priest who will marry current, also disunion, unfortunate combinations, and competing interests. Here, we are facing with a disunion between Tabita and Jim as well. Temperance is also known as the healing card in a tarot deck, and as Tabita is at St. Anthony Hospital, a place for healing, we can begin with Temperance card, and sometimes this card can be represented at the end of the beginning. After all, as Doctor leaves the room, Tabita tries to run from the hospital, and as she opens the door and looks out, here we have two shots, one after another. In the first shot, we have Tabita at the center. We can see patient room number hung on the wall. The number is 2225. Can see level 12 on it. As we are focused on this chart, let me explain you the numerology of the sequence using tarot cards. If you can take a look to the patient room number, we have triple number 2 and a number 5. In a tarot deck, number 2 goes for the High Priestess card. The High Priestess is the second major arcana card in a tarot deck. From the 18th century until now, there is a fixed image for this card, High Priestess card. In the creation of Rider-Waite Tarot deck, the purpose of the playing card packs was changed into the High Priestess. She wears a crown similar to the one used by the goddess Hathor. And it is depicted with Marian imagery. A.E. Waite, the co-creator of the Rider-Waite deck, speculated that the card was connected to the ancient cult of Astarte or Mary as representation of Mother, the goddess. She wears plain blue robes and sits with her hands in her lap. She has a lunar crescent at her feet, an honored diadem on her head, with the globe in the middle place, similar to the crown of the ancient Egyptian goddess Hathor, but with the horns having a shape more like half crescents and a large cross on her breast. The scroll in her hands, partly covered by her mantle, bears the letters Torah, means divine law. That symbolizes the memory we carry inside about the past, present, and the future, named Akasha. She is seated between the white and the black pillars, J and B for Gretchen and Boaz of the mystic temple of Solomon. The veil of the temple is behind her. It's embroidered with palm leaves as the sign for masculinity and pomegranates as a sign for femininity, growing on a tree-shaped like tree as tree of life. The motif that hangs behind the High Priestess throne, veiling whatever mysteries she guards, is suggested in a pattern of the Empress gown. They too are sisters, one bringing life into the world, the other inviting the living to the esoteric mysteries. High Priestess card is all about discretion and ancient knowledge and secrets. We have a triple of this card, triple number 2s, heavy High Priestess energy, and if we plus all these 3 2s together, the result will be 6, and number 6 goes for the Lover's card. In my last review, I explained all about the Lover's card and its functional role in the pilot episode setting and structure. And now, for number 5s, we have to take a short glimpse on the Hierophant Tarot card. The Hierophant, alternatively depicted as the Pope or the High Priest, as a counterpart for the High Priestess, is the 5th card of major arcana in occult tarot decks used in divination. The Hierophant was also known as the teacher of wisdom. In most iconographic depictions, the Hierophant is seen seated on a throne between 2 pillars, symbolizing law and freedom, or obedience and disobedience. According to different interpretations, he wears a triple crown and the keys to the heaven are at his feet. According to A.E. Waite, the Hierophant goes for marriage, mercy and goodness, inspiration, that means to whom the querent has resource. In reverse, overkindness or weakness. Now, if we take a deeper look into the combination, we have 3 times the High Priestess and the Hierophant all together. Triple High Priestess after add-on goes for lovers, and the Hierophant card as its counterpart talks about responsibility and true love and partnership. We have the High Priestess for 3 times, and it seems the female is the active one in this new quest, and female one is no one but Tabita, and the Hierophant card stands for her serious partnership and marriage with Jim. Now all game pieces has been activated for Tabita in a new level, and as we see, level 12 on the plate hung by the wall next to the 2225 patient room. Let me show you some clues by referring to Tabita's Lighthouse dream in Season 1. In Season 1, Episode 9, Tabita has a dream of a lighthouse, but in that episode, we just see her walking through an old stony staircase She hears Thomas is crying and she asks Jim to take care of Thomas. She sees Ethan puppets and a gaming card, but in the reverse. We can't see which card is that card. She took Ethan's puppets and a book with her. As she moves up, panic and calls Jim. Her foot rolls a bottle down the stairs, and as all we know, the bottle is the one which Poet grabbed from the bottle tree and opened it and found that number. As she raises her head up, she sees Jim hung by feet and screams. And then she has some flash memories of a car crash and woke up. As we see Jim hung from the feet in this scene, we can refer it to the Hanged Man Tarot card, which is the 12th major arcana card in the most traditional tarot decks. It depicts an image of a man being hanged upside down by one foot. However, the expression on his face traditionally suggests that he is there by his own accord, and the card is meant to represent self-sacrifice more than it does corporal punishment or criminality. In other interpretations, the Hanged Man is a depiction of a Norse god Odin, who suspended himself from a tree in order to gain knowledge. From the other side, the 12th card of the major arcana is the Observer. Modern version of the tarot deck depict a man hanging upside down by one foot. The figure is most often suspended from a wooden beam or a tree. Ambiguity results from the fact that the card itself may be viewed inverted. As A.E. Raderwaite mentions, there is a nimbus about the head of seeming martyr. It should be noted that the tree of sacrifice is living wood with leaves, that the face expresses deep entrancement, not suffering, that the figure as a whole suggests life in suspension, but life and not death. It expresses the relation in one of the aspects between divine and the universe. The Hanged Man card can support these meanings: wisdom, circumspection, discernment, trials, sacrifice, intuition, divination, prophecy, and in reverse, selfishness. I believe this Tabita dream scene in Season 1 is a prophecy for events we are going to face in Season 3. And as we see in Season 3's second episode, the phone rings and Jim answers the call. This is Thomas behind the line. I can name this scene Wake Up Call. And in this shot there is 2225 in the left and level 12 in the right, refers to the misunderstanding between Tabita as the motherhood and Jim as the father figure, as his husband and loved one. Now let's get back to the number 2225 again. We already plus 2 for 3 times and the result was 6, which goes to the Lover's card, and number 5 goes for the Hierophant card. Now if we plus these two numbers together, 6 and 5, the result will be 11, which refers to the Strength card. A Strength card is a major arcana tarot card. When we hear the word strength, we may conjure up an image of a big muscles. However, we understand that strength is far more than physical stamina and power alone. Life requires strong character when times are rough. Now we see that Tabita has sacrificed herself by going to the lighthouse to save children. This is a sign of her inner strength as a mother who concerns about her children. Exactly as we saw Miranda, Victor's mother, did the same. But in reverse, Victor's father, Henry, preferred to accept her family are dead and never tried to go to look for them. For well more than 40 years, he chose to accept that his children are gone, and he only sat by a corner drunk and didn't try. He preferred to stay in his old house with all those stuff non-touched for well 40 years, until Tabita arrived and reminded him of his poor, sad, lost son, Victor. The last thing Henry remembers he said to his children was a threat or maybe a command. But in reverse, we see Jim, who cares about his family and his wife, and as he rests assured of his children's safety, he leaves the town quickly to look after Tabita. and Kenny is accompanying him through this journey which costs him his mother.
You said this place couldn't break you. Do you remember that, boy? You don't fucking break me. That's what she said.
And strength is the only thing these monsters want to ruin in Fromlanders and try to break them all.
You said this place couldn't break you. Do you remember that, boy? You don't fucking break me. That's what she said.
Now Tabita has had this strength to pass through the time and meets Henry, Victor's father, in another dimension in a past environment, and by her strength and her power she could pass through the boundaries and borders and took Victor's father with her to Fromland, which was a game-changer option for Fromlanders. Strength points you towards a path of balance, willpower, and self-knowledge as continue your journey through the 78 passageways of growth. This is the inner power level on your continuous cycle of change. You might use your courage and inner strength to face something unpleasant or face your fears and not let your fears devour you. Or you might need to have a face-to-face with your fears.
You said this place couldn't break you. Do you remember that, boy? You don't fucking break me. That's what she said.
You might get burned or scratched a few times when you face something unpleasant, but the important message of a strength card is not to give up. Keep going until you succeed. Did you know that strength is associated with the power and personal achievements? There are times in life when everyone faces the kind of fear that can paralyze. Whatever your situation, fear of failure prevents you from succeeding and isolates you from the world. You walk a path bounded on both sides by the abyss of fear, a fear you must confront with courage in order to solve your issues. Stand up for your obstacles and address them. You will find the people you fear have half the strength you think they have. As Tabita comes out of the room at the hospital, turns her head to the right and sees Dr. Brody talking to the police. A little further, there is a guide board hung from the ceiling. You can see other numbers written on the board. We can see 2227 and 2245. We can break those numbers down too, as we did before. But here, I just want to make a quick jump by using numerology, and then we'll show you how we can read them through tarot cards as well. We have 2227 and 2245. Now we just need to plus all these numbers together as we did in previous analytic. 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 7 equals to 13. Also 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 5 equals to 13 as well. As you see, the sum of both numbers separately equals 13, the same as each other. Number 13 goes for the Death Tarot card, which is the 13th trump in major arcana cards in the most traditional tarot decks. The card typically depicts the Grim Reaper, and when used for divination is often interpreted as signifying major changes in person's life. There are other decks that title Death as Rebirth or Death Rebirth. As we see both these numbers hung at the top of the reception where Dr. Brody is talking to the police, we can say that Tabita shouldn't trust Dr. Brody and the police, and it will be the end for her. Also, it represents two other paths and quests Tabita is facing with. For the first number, 2227, the number 2 is going for the High Priestess again. 3 2s plus together is 6, and 6 goes for the Lovers. And the number 7, which goes for the Chariot Tarot card. The Chariot is the 7th trump or major arcana card in the most traditional tarot decks. A figure sits in a chariot although he holds no rope. He is pulled by 2 sphinx or horses. There is often a black and white motif. For example, one of the steeds may be black and the other white. canopy of stars above the charioteer's head is intended to show celestial influences. The Chariot card carries several divinatory associations. The Chariot means succor, providence, also war, triumph, presumption, vengeance, trouble. And in reverse, riot, quarrel, dispute, litigation, and defeat. Number 2227 is all about experiencing another car crash. Let's look into the number 2245. Here we have two number 2s, means double high priestess, and here the third high priestess card has gave its own place to the Emperor Tarot card, which is the fourth trump in major arcana cards in the most traditional tarot decks. According to Rider-Waite, the Emperor card is all about authority, establishment, structure, and father figure, which goes for Henry, Victor's father. It means both numbers Tabita sees on the board, all representing her next quest as a Karmic. Always there is a choice. Tabita chooses to run, and when she arrives by the elevator, you can see number 13 turns into 12 when elevator arrives. It's time to come out of the dead mood to the living life. Tabita leaves the hospital and finally she finds herself by Victor's father's house. If you take a look into the block number, you can see 1597, and if we plus all these numbers together, the result will be 22. The last number in cycle is 21, which goes to the Bowl Tarot card, which is a 21st trump or major arcana card in a tarot deck. It can be incorporated as the final card of the major arcana or tarot trump sequence, and the first or last option as being the Fool, with number 0, which is associated with 22nd letter of the Hebrew alphabet Tau, goes to the Fool card. Traditionally, it is the lowest of 22nd trump cards in the tarot card reading called 22 major arcana. However, the Fool is usually an unnumbered card with a unique design, but sometimes it is numbered as 0, the first, or in rare times 22 as the last. The Fool is the main character of a Fool's journey, and all of a karmic cycle is about the Fool and his experiencing and quests during the cycle. And all events and incidents are depending on his choices and pathways he chooses to follow. Here it means a cycle has been completed and the Fool has begun his journey in a new cycle. Now Tabita meets Henry, Victor's father, and takes him to the From land with herself. As Tabita had Victor's lunchbox with her, she ended up in Main Camden only to meet Henry, Victor's father, and takes him with to From land. By the way, she hasn't burnt an opportunity to save the others, and she has successfully accomplished her mission and her quest in this journey, and the new cycle has begun. Victor should meet his father to remember of the past, and I'm sure it will cause Victor to remember more and more to solve the problem. In my next review, I'm going to continue this discussion to show you all clues due to the plots and plans through this season. And we'll keep analyzing the other facts of a karmic cycle through tarot reading, and we'll continue with Carl Gustav Jung's dream theory on archetypes and collective unconscious to also expose all secrets about Jade's famous symbol as well. Please like and share and subscribe to support my channel, and push the notification bell to watch all of my videos, reviews, breakdowns as I upload them. Please drop your ideas on this matter in the comment section and let me know what do you think of my theory. See you in my next video. Love and light in peace.